आज रात के dessert में शाही टुकड़े बन रहे हैं because I was requested for Shahi Tukras. Now they're really, really, really rich sweets and should be made on occasion, I'd say about once a year. You'll soon find out. Okay, so what we have here is 6 pieces of bread, right? And then you have evaporated milk, 1 tin, 1 1/4 measuring cups of sugar, yes, 1 1/4, and cooking oil, elaichi or cardamom, a little bit of saffron. This is optional if you want to, otherwise if you don't have any, that's fine. Some yellow food coloring, and we have some chopped nuts. So that's what we need for Shahi Tukras. Start by making the syrup, and that entire tin of evaporated milk and 2 pods of cardamom. You can crush the seeds or you can leave them whole. It's you know, if you don't mind getting a seed in your mouth or something, that's fine. I'm gonna put just a pinch of saffron, a little bit of food coloring, just like that. You can use the tip of a spoon if you're a bit worried. It'll be about 1/4 teaspoon of food coloring. When it starts to come to the boil, then you put in the sugar. So that's that for the syrup, and it's going to, they're really, really easy and really fast to make. If you feel you need more food coloring, go ahead and add some. They should look pretty and golden and shahi, actually. They should look shahi. They shouldn't look lemony. So I'm just adding a little bit more. It's not by any means the healthiest of foods, but it's irreplaceable. You can't find this taste anywhere else. That looks richer. So it's gonna come to a boil, and I'm gonna start heating the oil, the cooking oil, because we're gonna deep fry the bread, and then we're gonna put it in. Now a little tip, I'm just adding just a little splash of milk, and the reason for that is to just, you know, accommodate for the little amount that will evaporate while it's cooking. If we don't want the syrup by any means to be very, very thin, it needs to be thick, but this is just a tip, you know. You don't want it to be too evaporated and then run out. The last piece of toast doesn't get enough syrup, so just to accommodate for the moisture. It's coming to a boil, so we're gonna add our sugar now. Yep, that looks like an awful lot, and it is, but if we have anything less than this, then our tukras won't be sweet enough. They will not be. And then you know, you're eating something and it's bland and you're still getting this sufficient amount of sugar, not a good idea. So after the sugar's added, it becomes extremely nice and syrupy and even more golden. We're just gonna let this cook. I'm going to start to fry our bread. And what we'll do is we're going to fry the bread, and when it's fried on both sides, this syrup will be cooking on low heat. We're gonna dip the bread in there. And then dish it out. Now for the bread, we're gonna heat the oil and we're gonna test. Yep, so it's warm, it's hot enough now. So we're gonna start frying the bread, and this is gonna be a process that, it will be a process that requires attention. So This is my homemade bread. If anyone's interested, I can make a video on how to make this bread. It's really, really easy and it tastes really, really good. So we start frying it on, I'd say about medium heat. And check a little bit. You need it to be just a little bit golden. So we have to, when we make Shahi Tukra, what we need to understand is we have to pull out all the stalks. We cannot make a diet Shahi Tukra. It's not gonna, it won't taste that good. I mean, I don't even know how you manage that. I guess this is a form of a healthy Shahi Tukra because you would make it in ghee. At one point in history, they'd be making it in ghee, but you know, I guess it wasn't that big a compromise to interchange it with canola oil. But I guess that's as healthy as it'll get. If you compromise on the sugar, it's not going to taste good. It'll be bland. It'll be lacking in sweetness. Anything less than what we put. And I guess it's because of the bread and the way it absorbs the oil. It just needs that extra sugar. So once it's this beautiful golden color and you take it into the syrup, just put that in there, plunk it in. Now you have to be very, very careful because if you leave it in there too long, it'll disintegrate. So hurry up. Turn it over and have yourself a casserole ready, something that's a good size, an appropriate size, and just lay it in there like that. And then we move on to the next one. Please be careful, it involves hot oil, deep frying, and it's a constant process. I suppose you could fry them all and then dip them all later, but somehow I find that if you dip in the hot bread straight from the oil, it absorbs the syrup better. That just makes sense. And it'll get faster as the oil heats up. I like these crispy bits on leaving that. And again, plonk it in, turn it over quickly. Maybe one more time. And then just lay it on there. So once the tukras are ready, then you'll have some syrup that's left over, and you just spoon it on there. You leave it to absorb, and it's nice to have them cooled overnight But I guess, you know, once they're at room temperature, an hour or two in the refrigerator is good as well. So the final step is to just take some pistachios and almonds that have been crushed and put as much or as little as you like. You can also put, you know, the beautiful silver that you get. I'm not using that today though.